Our category is a corsage, a pin-on corsage for the mother of a bride for a wedding. All right, so today what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a traditional pin-on corsage, but I'm gonna show you some wiring and taping methods so that it's a little bit more structurally sound. When we create pin-on corsages, it's made for the chest, and we wanna make sure that it's proportional to our customer. A lot of times what we'll tell students are with their hand and their fingers closed, top to bottom, is this the space that you have to work in for it to be proportional to you. I would say at competition, be very mindful of that so that you're not making something too big, especially boys versus girls. Your hand sizes matter. Remember that this is going to be for a mother of the bride, so we want it to be a little bit smaller and more petite. For our mums, we're going to do an insertion wire, where we take the wire, we flip our mum upside down. Right next to the stem, we're going to take the wire and insert it from the bottom through the top, but making sure it doesn't come all the way out. Again, stretching our tape, and we're going to tape top to bottom. If you wire something, you have to tape it. They're married. They're together forever, so don't forget. So far we've done pierce. This is called insertion. And then we're going to do a technique that's called wraparound wiring. Wraparound wiring is when we take smaller products and we want to add lots of them together. So technically I could tape each of these in individually, but that takes a lot more time. So we're going to create these little groupings. I'm going to take my grevillea, I'm going to clean my stem up, I'm going to take a couple of them, layer them to create a little bit more depth. I'm going to take one of my smaller pieces of wire, about 1/3 to 2/3, I'm going to physically wrap it around 2 to 3 times, coiling it. It holds it together. We can cut out most of that stem, fold it down, and then we'll tape it top to bottom again. And it's easiest if you kind of make everything and prep it before you get started, so you'll see that I've done that. This is going to be our mass flower, and then we're going to really blend and create the shape around it. If your carnation's really tight, you can do a technique that's called feathering, where you gently massage the petals down to force them to open. And it's almost like the presentation bouquet or something. We're going to kind of make it upright and create that shape. When I take and place it, I'm going to use my grevillea to go up underneath and create this nice depth and movement. And then I'll layer some on the back side. And we're going to start to create our overall shape. I'll use a mum at the top to create rhythm. Start to lead my eyes down, and the cool thing about it being on wire is you can bend it, you can shape it, and create a little bit more depth. If I stop right here, it's like I'm trying to get cable, like I have antennas. It looks like a bug. We don't want to do that. You really want to balance it throughout, and that's where the 3 comes into play. You could think about it on the other side. I'm going to use mine just a little bit lower. That way it creates better rhythm and it starts to lead the eyes down. From there, I've made little picks, and I'll show you how to make one. That's going to be my creative element. And what happens is you get going and you're like, oh my gosh, my hand is tired. At any point your hand gets tired, you're just going to take the tape and you're physically going to just wrap it around a couple times just to hold it together. It's going to move stuff. Don't stress out. You can change it back. And we're starting to create that overall shape. To create these cool little fun picks, it's almost like a ribbon pick. You're just going to start, make a loop, come back up, make a loop. You can make them any size you want. And then when I finish, I'm going to leave a little bit of wire at the bottom. I'll twist it all together 2 or 3 times to hold it. That wire is what I'm going to use to tape into my arrangement of my corsage. I know to create the rhythm that I need, I have to place one a little bit higher. It doesn't have a long enough stem. Same concept. We're just going to take the wire, we're going to wrap it around, making it mechanically sound, and then we'll tape it. The reason that we tape it is it covers the wire so the wire isn't going to poke the customer. And when it comes to mechanics, that's super important when it comes to personal pieces, because we don't ever want somebody to get hurt or poked or bleed. So I've done that, made that mechanically sound. Take and add that guy in the top. If I wanted to, I can pick in a little bit of baby's breath. She's getting a little bit large for me personally, but it's really proportional. And you can see it on, but that baby's breath creates just a little bit more rhythm. It adds a white that pulls the lightness out of your carnation, and then it mimics everything else that we're creating. I'm going to go ahead and tuck my bow in there and see if I need more baby's breath. If you put something in once, it doesn't look like it belongs, right? It's like, is that an accident? Was it supposed to be there? If you do it 2 or 3 times, you're creating rhythm. You're repeating it over and over again. And that is the purpose. So I know I can't just put baby's breath in one spot. So I'm actually going to add a little bit down here to counterbalance the weight on the opposite side. I'm going to tape it all the way down, covering all my mechanics. And then you're going to be like, wow, I could be done. This is beautiful. I love it. Okay. What do you see as the problem? On my body, this is way too long. This could stab somebody. It wouldn't be comfortable. You're going to take your wire cutters, and we really want to make it kind of proportional once again with it, but not super long. So I'm cutting it where it looks good on my body. Finishing it out, you could take and curl the end up if you want to, but to finish mine, I'm actually going to finish it with ribbon. I'm going to take it and flip it over. I'm going to place my ribbon on my left side. When I do that, I'm going to pull it where it cinches down on the bottom. I kind of gather it, and then we'll start to twist. We're going to wrap it all the way up the top. When you get to the top, on the back side, you'll place your index finger, make a loop. We're going to take the tail from the bottom side up to make a slip knot, and then we'll cut all of our tails, fluff our bow. Remember, when you cut, you want to cut all of your tails the same angle or style. You want to fill it out really nicely. And then we'll take coordinating corsage pins. You're going to take them and place them in at an upward angle into your corsage stem. Don't put it all the way through because your customer will get stabbed. And a lot of times for women, we'll add 2 in if there's an opportunity. That way that they can put it in a little bit easier. This would pin through their shirt. When you're in competition, you'll have a bag. You want to place your corsage in the bag. And then you're graded on creativity, right? So I've added some decorative elements. I've really thought through it. I could be like, oh, I'm done. I'm just going to lay my bag there. But pull it all together, gather it, and then take a little bit of ribbon that you already have and tie it around. That way, you're being creative in how you package it as well. You could make a little shoestring bow. You could leave it loose, however you want to. I could tie multiple to it. It depends on your time, how much time you have left. And then that is going to be your pin-on corsage.